Okay, here is your side view. What a big improvement. I think you're going to like this. Now, you're still not throwing at top speed, but that's fine. We're learning we're learning body position first here, and we'll get this faster by next lesson, okay? But take a look here. Oh, let me just move this up. Very, very nice. All right, if you saw the same things I saw, now we're working only right now on keeping the upper body tall as you drop that leg, as you flex the back knee a little bit. I know it feels awkward for you right now, and you're not throwing at top velocity right now, so that's quite okay. We're not worried about that. We're worried about body posture and positioning so that we can eventually get ourselves into an explosive delivery. Wow, look at how much nicer that looks. And take a look at your throwing arm. See that? Uh, that's exactly where you want that arm to be. That's really good. Really, really good. So now the arm will start to come up. The only thing is here, you'll notice that you kind of slow down because you're probably thinking about the upper body. It's just too conscious right now, and it's not second nature. But once it becomes second nature, we're really going to speed up this lower half and get explosive and get that foot down right about there. When your foot touches down and your arm is right about at that level, you're really going to get good leverage for hip and shoulder separation later, which is really going to thrust your trunk forward. And you'll get that great linear power that most high velocity pitchers have. In fact, all of our high velocity pitchers have. There's very few pitchers that are just rotational. All right, now because you're thinking about the body staying tall, um, our center of gravity is a little tall, but that is okay. That is okay for now. All right. I'll go through a quick little review of all the things that you want to look for in a high velocity pitcher, but I really do like the way the shoulders are up, the chest is up, you're not collapsing down. That's really going to help you out with rotation and hip speed and and eventually ball speed. So great work there. Keep practicing this. This is not something that's going to come easy. This is a learned motor skill. You have to keep doing this every day, even if you're just throwing up against the fence. All right. So a quick review of everything that I would look for. All right. Let's start from the top. Let's take a look at your momentum forward as you drop your leg. Let's start up here. All right. So as the knee descends. Okay. So the next step for you here is let's work on getting some hip mobility. Remember, as you drop, you want to move out at the same rate. And it looks like we're dropping faster than we're moving out. And what we know from most very fast throwers and pitchers is that they are able to get their bodies out and down at the same rate. All right, let's take a look at the back leg real quick. How linear do we get and how linear? Okay, we head down there. We're getting linear here. Your vertical, 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 vertical. This is where we want to start getting linear, and we'll get linear when the hips come out, okay? And right here, when the knee takes over the hip, is where drive phase really starts to begin. Front foot is open a little bit, and that's going to cause a little bit of some early hip rotation, and that's the last thing you want when you're trying to throw hard. Back foot is coming off of the rubber. The back heel's too far off the rubber. That back heel should be still up against the rubber until you're really ready now to thrust yourself with that last burst of energy by extending that knee, extending the hip, and extending the ankle rather than just rolling the ankle over as most pitchers do at your age. Tends to roll over. See that? We need to see an extension there. So that extension is going to lift this hip up a little bit, which will then deposit the foot out further. And that'll give you a nice long stride. But again, you're not throwing hard. This is just to review some of the things so you can see them. So remember, when you land the front foot and all the weight is down and the knee is locked up into a good place, that's where we measure hip to shoulder separation. That's where we can start to measure it. Now, when we look at your leg, it's vertical, okay? And that's fine because you're not throwing hard, so you're not really striding, you're not generating that much velocity yet from the back. When you do, that leg will land out further, which will give you a more linear angle in your leg to push the forces up into your hip, okay? But so far, man, everything looks great. Next week when we work together, we're going to try to get out sooner. We're going to try to get linear quicker and try to get that foot down quicker. All right? And I think you're going to really feel a pretty good difference there. I like where the elbow is again. Great job keeping the shoulder height. Okay? Again, when a pitcher is in this position as the foot comes down, as the foot lands and all the weight is there, take a look at your foot. Well, actually, it does a pretty good job there. Normally, when you throw hard, the heel tends to shift, and I'll take a look at that next week. We want to really plant that foot and get it like anchored into the ground without any movement whatsoever. Here, you do a pretty good job of it. All right, but remember, typically when the foot comes down like this, at this point, the hips are all the way forward. I can't even see your belly button because it's actually pointing here. That's where the belt buckle will point. All right, and the arm will be back, and you'll get a great trunk tilt when that happens, okay? Great job, though, keeping the body posture nice and tall. Let's work next week on really driving out that body a little bit more explosively, getting those hips out a little bit more quickly, and then I'll do a side-by-side, and I'll show you the difference, okay? Great job. See you soon.